Now, let's see if I can walk you through the uncanny valley is the hydrogen gambit best I can here. Let's see what we got. This is the one that brought me in here. I saw this one on the page, and of course I was hammering it down about on the main page for YouTube with anything else that was out there, mainly focusing on this. As for me, it's a G1 study, a GLP-1 drug study, so go about manufacturing it from the Dutch territory where you're actually keeping track of a strong death calc population, how you're working the drug thesis is, because sure, you got an allergy, we're working it, you got some kind of conditional model, whatever it is. What's the geodesics here for your drug regimen on the computer model that does a diabetes, that we adjusted the EBITDA by producing GLP drugs that moderate your glucose in a better standard, because you don't pay attention to your machine beeping at you or calibrate what food, even though you think it was sugar free, wasn't really obviously sugar free the way the body does alchemy or turns calories into energy. So in some way it's fractally partial into it, so even if it's fructose or glucose or something that makes a fast turn, and so you'll get a better dropout of yield on solution on it, whichever way that is. Do you want us to keep that in Dutch, then that's what that's, or Danish, that's where that's got to be. And so for my top row here, when I got into the page, I opened it up and rolled it over into the OpenAI announces this, and of course I'm right to sheets. We're going to go right into what's a sensible variable, where I've seen a mini like that before, but what are we asking all these infinities and ones and zeros to do as far as program it into the app script? It's a little different of how we make that number what it is from the dev or the button design or clickable thing that you apply it to do. And in whatever way that breaks down in the D flip-flop. Once we train that logic, it's more about chess pieces and uniform systems that we know, while we'll eventually add some other format of an infinity to that situation in some way. Back in here. Small caps are going to again do some of that type of the app that does that. I have a main one, it breaks down that algorithm, and I have a mini one, it also breaks down that algorithm. Neither of them really do anything beyond allowing me to do dot equals for Feynman's diagrams over there, and say that's what the jet pilot did in the air, because I can cat all the basics out to do that. And then maybe the way that that's presented and engineered and has some limits is useful because I resonate off of it frequently. That's going to be why you run around and get back down in here and some things I've already watched. Hawkish Fed putting on a coup for what it does is to absolutely turn tail double time back to the boom boom room, because that they're just bitching and blowing about all the things in Uber and CarMax, and over Nordesk, which is also going to be up here, about what the medicine's doing, more of an AI standard, and a car number about those two trades or which groups are which inside of their committing to the year-end report cards. This is what structure somebody's been utilizing for it while dealing with the Freeport OpenAI numbers. McMoran, Columbian Banking, and a ping on target. So again, you might need to play around with that accordingly, because it's going to change over, and what actually happens between A to B, generally I'm going to assume standardizes on the line, but I know I also play around with the thesis myself about which one would be best orientated and positioned for my natural set for the day, on any kind of shutting down or recalibrating, cooling, and other models that would be, why I could or couldn't, or argue why it is or it isn't in the figure 4. So.